Good morning. Today we celebrate the third Sunday of Easter. And I'd like to start out by telling you all about one of my favorite things to do, and that is go mountain climbing. Now, I'm not into climbing up cliffs and stuff like that, but just walking along a trail, backpack, tent, camping gear, and camping along the way, and doing it with my family or friends. Because there's something about when you're in the mountains walking around that you realize you are not in control of your life. You realize just how vulnerable you are and how weak you are and how you're really depending on those Cliff Bars and ramen noodles that you packed. But also looking around the mountains, especially if you're in Colorado or Wyoming, seeing just the beauty and majesty of God, all that He has created. And it's in those moments that I really feel extremely close to our Lord, that He is there with me. Along that path, along the trail, along the way that we're going. But another really great effect about hiking that I've found is how close you become to the people with you. Because there's something about when people are traveling and in pain or out of their comfort zone, it brings them together. It brings them together, and the memories are made. Some of them miserable, some of them wonderful. I remember one occasion, it was my first trip actually to Colorado to go hiking, and some of us in college, we got together, about 5 guys, and we went out there hiking. And I remember there was one day where it was just grueling. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to the top. I was just so worn out. Another guy, his Achilles tendon was about ready to snap, he felt. And eventually we struggled and we got to the top. And as we were there, we all sat down and looked out over the beautiful surroundings, down into the valley, mountains far away. We could see for probably 70 miles or so. And it was breathtaking. And it was in that moment that we thought it was worth it. It was worth going along that tough trail, worth traveling that far, and we couldn't have done it had we not had each other with us. And notice in today's gospel, we have the 2 disciples walking along. They're worried, they're anxious, they're confused about what has happened in Jerusalem with Jesus' death, and now some people are saying that He rose from the dead. And who appears to them but our Lord Himself? He's confirming that earlier verse in the Bible where He says, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in their midst. He is there with them, and He walks with them along the way. And the way was another name given to Christianity. It was known as the New Way. And Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So they're traveling with Jesus, and they don't recognize Him. And when they do recognize Him, though, it's in the breaking of the bread. And He vanishes from their sight, but He's not gone. He just vanished from their sight. He's there in the Eucharist. Our Lord is there with us. And so He wants to travel with you and your family. He wants to travel with us all together on that journey. In the second reading of St. Peter, he says to conduct yourselves during our sojourn. Sojourn is a word that means it means temporary stay, like a temporary dwelling. And that word in Greek is poroikos. And from that, we get the word in English for parish. So our parish is a group of people, like a family, and we are temporarily gathered together in that parish to help us. We are temporarily gathered to prepare ourselves for eternity. And we're not just sitting there, we're on a journey, we're on the way. There's never a point where you're sitting still, not doing anything. I mean, you might be sitting on the couch feeling like you're not doing anything, but you are. You're going through your life. You're living your life. And you're either living it for eternal happiness or eternal suffering. And most people will be like, well, I want eternal happiness, right? Okay, well, go along that way. Bring people along with you. Remember that our Lord is there. He's right beside you, and He wants to help you along that journey because He is always with us. He's always with us, and we need to remember that, especially when times get tough. And I don't know about you, I don't want to walk along the trail alone. In fact, that sounds kind of scary and lonely. And so remember that you're never alone. Our Lord is there. And then also that love we have, that love that our Lord has, that he gives us, and we need to ask him for, that love brings other people into that relationship. So ask our Lord to give you an increase in that love that he has. Ask him to help you always remember that he's there with you along the way. And don't be afraid. We can't always see what's ahead on the trail, but our Lord is there with us. And it's kind of exciting, right? Not knowing what's coming. I mean, we know we're looking forward to heaven, but we can't really see too far ahead. But knowing that our Lord is there gives us all the confidence we need. And knowing that we can bring other people into that journey with us. Because I want it to be a party. I want to run along that trail, and when we get to heaven, have a whole group of people coming along in, and people in heaven are going to be like, whoa, man, what's going on? Why are these people having such a great time? It's like, hey, like, we've been, traveling with Jesus and all of our friends. So, maybe it's your family or friends or neighbor. Reach out to someone and help bring them along that journey to our Lord. Remember, he's with you, and he's always walking beside us. And whenever you're gathered with another person, he is there in your midst. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, there am I in their midst. And remember, he gives us his word to strengthen us on that journey, on the way. And he gives us his body, the Eucharist, his body and his blood to strengthen us on that journey. So ask our Lord today, make a spiritual communion to receive him spiritually, to be your strength, to be your food, to give you strength for your journey, and prepare our hearts. Prepare your hearts to ask our Lord to help you remember that this is just a sojourn. It's just a temporary stay to eternity. May God bless you and keep you safe along your journey with the Lord. Know that you're in my prayers. Take care. God bless.